Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will talking about the PLC programming language. Well, this is one of the video in the course of PLC programming for beginners. And today we will be talking about the various languages in which we can program PLCs. If you are familiar with programming languages like C++ and Python, those languages have their own purposes. Well, for example, to develop a website, we need languages like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and PHP. Well, C++ can be used for Windows operating system programming or any other applications. Python can be used for the development of data science and machine learning projects, etc. But according to the International Electrotechnical Commission, PLC, which we also refer to as an industrial computer, has its own set of programming languages. So in this presentation, we are going to discuss and we are going to talk about that. So these are the different languages in which we can program PLCs. Ladder logic, function block diagrams, statement list, also called as an instruction list, structured control language, we can also call it as structured text, and SFC, that is a Sequential Function Chart. So these are the 5 programming languages according to the IEC, that is the International Electrotechnical Commission Standard 61131-3. So according to this standard, these are the 5 languages which can be used for the programming of PLCs. Programmable logic controllers are the industrial computers. So let's talk about each of the languages one by one. Well, ladder logic, it is inspired by the traditional relay logic. Prior to the development of PLC programming languages, well, the industrial processes were controlled by the automation systems, and those automation systems were driven by the relay logic. So there were lots of relays in the field, in the control panels, and the logic for the monitoring and control of the processes, for example, for the controlling of the motors, valves, actuators. Well, there were lots of relays either in series or in parallel. There were coils of the relays used for the actuation of the motors, valves. There were timers, counters. Well, all those circuits were made physically in the control panels. So that was relay logic. Well, that is the explanation of the relay logic is beyond the scope of this video. This specific language in which we can today program PLC, well, it is a very basic language and it is inspired by the model of the relay logic. Just like in relay logic, we had normally open, normally closed contacts, we had coils, we had timers, counters physically. Well, those concepts have been copied in the ladder logic. So it is inspired by the traditional relay logic, and it is a graphical language. It is not high-level language just like C++. It is not the low-level language like assembly language. Well, it is a graphical language in which we have graphical elements like normally open contact, graphical elements like normally closed contacts, and we have coils. So this is a basic rung of a typical ladder logic PLC program. It is a graphical language in which we have various graphical elements like contacts, coils. It has rungs and rails. Well, the PLC starts scanning from the first network or the first rung. Well, just like in C++ language or any other high-level language, we have statements. So we have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4. So the controller actually starts scanning from the first statement, then it goes to the second, then third, then fourth, and it starts to scan from the first statement again. And this is how the cyclic process continues. So in the case of ladder logic, we have to divide our program into various networks or various rungs. So the processor will start to process the program for the rung 1, then it will move toward rung 2, then rung 3, rung 4, and all the way to the final rung of the language or the code. And then it will start to scan from the first rung again. So this cycle and this scan cycle will continue forever. Program Instead of statements in C++, just like that is the analogy, if you want to compare it to the C++ language, well, this specific language has the number of rungs. We divide the code into various rungs, and each rung has the flow from the left side towards the right side. To make you guys understand further, in a traditional control circuit or a relay logic circuit, what we have is something like this. This is plus 24 volt, for example, and this is 0 volt. So if this is the relay 1, this is relay 2, and this is the coil of the relay, if this contact is made, which is normally open contact, and this is an NC contact, if it is closed already, so what will happen, the 24 volt will flow from this point towards this 0 volt, and this coil of the third relay will be actuated, and that relay will get energized. So we call it rail. Well, these 2 points which have the potential 24 volt and 0 volt, we call it rail. So this is how the logic in the ladder logic is organized. It has rungs, it has rails, and in each rung we have these 2 rails. So this is how we organize our ladder logic PLC program. Well, we have contacts for input signals and coils are for output signals. These are the contacts of relays, and these are for input signals, and this is any specific output signal which we want to control. We want to monitor these signals. For example, these are ready signal, this is the overload signal, and we want to actuate this specific coil to operate any motor. So this is for output, definitely. This is just for the sake of brief introduction. We can have further explanation in the coming videos. And this language is ideal for electricians and simple on and off control logic like motor start and motor stop. Well, this is ideal for electricians because it is easy to understand, and since it is inspired by the traditional control circuit or traditional relay logic language, well, it is very easy to understand. So it is one of the basic language in which we can program PLCs. If you look at this specific PLC code, which is written in the ladder logic language, well, these are the normally open contacts, these are normally closed contacts, and these are coils, and these are for the monitoring of input signals, and these are for the control of output signals. And in this specific ladder logic code, we have 4 rungs, and in each rung we have 2 rails. In this you can see that we have 2 input signals, I0.0, I0.1, I0.2, actually 3 to be specific, 3 input signals and 1 output signal. This is the coil, and these are the contacts, normally open contacts. This specific I0.0 input signal will flow from left side to a right, and it has been ORed with these 2 ANDed signals, I0.1, 0.2. So these 2 digital signals have been ANDed, and the result of this AND operation is ORed with I0.0, and whatever is the result is inverted. And then we actuate the specific coil Q4.0 depending upon the logic. If it is high, if the result is of the NOT operation is high, well, this specific coil will be actuated. So this is a very simple ladder logic code. So moving out to the next programming language, which is a function block diagram. It's the graphical language, and it is very easy to understand. It uses various blocks for various operation. For example, if we have timers, if we have counters, or if we have any other operation, we will be using blocks for the specific operation. For example, if we want to add 2 integers, for example, this is the integer 1 and this is integer 2, so we will interface these signals to the input of the function block, which has the, for example, addition of 2 integers. For example, it adds 2 integers and store the result in a specific word QW0. Whatever is the integer value at these two interface, well, that will be added by this specific function block. It adds these two values and store the result in QW0, that is the specific word output. Here is the simple understanding of the function block diagram, and it is great for complex systems like signal processing and PID loops. Well, for example, if we go to advanced programming in which we monitor and control the processes, well, function block diagram is widely used for programming PLCs. Here is the typical function block diagram language. As you can see, we are adding two values, two integer values, integer 1 and integer 2, and the destination will have the result of these two integers. Further, you can see that this boolean, well, it processes these four inputs and store the result in this specific output. Further, we can have the lines coming out from these blocks, and we can use it for at the various inputs of other function blocks as well. Just like the output of this addition, well, we are multiplying it, the output of this added function block, we are giving it on the input of this multiplication block, and the second integer is directly fed to this input of the multiplication block, and we are multiplying these two values and storing the result in this specific output register. So we can have multiple connections depending upon the type of our logic. This is the function block diagram language in which we can program PLCs as well. Going up to the next PLC programming language, it is something we call statement list or instruction list. Well, this language has become obsolete, but still it is used in variety of PLC program. It is just like the low-level assembly language. For example, if you have ever used 8051 microcontroller, well, we can have assembly language in that controller. Instruction list or statement list is also used for the programming of PLCs. It is a less common language, but still used, and sort of difficult language, not easy to understand, and it has become obsolete as well. This is the typical code of an instruction list language. As you can see, we can see that there are two signals, I0.0, M10.0. These two signals have been ORed. This O stands for OR operation. And over here you can see that I0.2 and M10.3, these two signals have been ORed, and whatever are the results of these two OR operations, the result is ANDed. These two results have been ANDed through this A. So the A is actually the AND operation, O is OR operation, and this equal sign is the assignment operation. That is, whatever is the result, Q4.0 will have it. So it is a coil. Q4.0 is the address of the coil. To make you guys understand, well, the relay logic of this statement list is on the right side. We have I0.0, M10.0. These two signals have been ORed. Similarly, I0.2, 10.3. These two signals have been ORed, and the result of these individual OR operation, the results are ANDed, and the result of this AND operation is then again ANDed with M10.1. On the left hand side, you can see the AND operation, and the final result is fed to the Q4.0 coil. So this is a typical instruction language PLC code. Moving up, well, this is the sort of the complex STL code, and have a look at the typical statement list code. Structured control language. It is a high-level language, just like a C++ or Python, which is used for the programming of PLCs. It is a text-based language. It is a high-level language like a Pascal or C, and it uses conditions, loops, assignments, various assignments that we use in a typical C++ language, for example. And it is best for programmers, those who want to handle complex algorithms, mathematics, and data manipulations. Well, here is a typical SCL language. SCL is also called as structured text or ST, and in this specific PLC code which has been written in SCL, you can see that we have various assignments. Well, in this language, this operator is used for the assignment of values on the right side. Whatever is value on the right side, it will be assigned to this limit variable. Well, these are constant variables, and these are the integer variables, as you can see, that has been defined over here. We have Boolean variables, we have a word variable, these are the output variables, and so on and so forth. So this is a typical SCL language used for the programming of PLCs. Sequential Function Chart. This is also a flowchart style language. It is a graphical language, not low level, not high level, but still it is used for the programming of PLCs and in specific processes like batch control or state machines manufacturing, and it divides or organizes the code into various steps and transitions. For example, if we have to take steps, for example, we have to start our code from this point. First, we will take a specific step, step 1, then we will move on toward another step, step 2, and finally to our end of the logic. So this is a language like this. We have various transitions in various steps. It's a graphical language, a flow chart style language. This is a diagram that showcases the typical and simple SFC chart code. It is used in batch control processes, not widely used, but still it is used in the processes where it is required, like batch control processes. So the logic starts like this: step 1, then we have transition, and then we have step 2, and depending upon our requirement, we can have multiple steps, and finally we have our end of the process. So Sequential Function Chart is also one of the languages which can be used for the programming of PLCs. Video, we discussed the number of languages which we use for programming PLCs. We discussed ladder logic, we discussed function block diagrams, statement list, structured control language, and SFC language. So these are the 5 languages according to the IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission, which can be used for the programming of programmable logic controllers, also referred to as industrial computers. In the coming videos, we will have further explanation of each language. We will have our logic made into the various programming languages like ladder logic, function block diagrams. We will have the basic instruction of each language, and we will make projects and assignments in the upcoming videos. This video has it for now, and thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, and see you in the next video.